Super Dave here for another review. Super Dave here with another exciting review, and today we're going to be looking at another He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. And we're looking today at Thunder Punch He-Man, one of the figures that I was able to obtain on eBay, brand new in package, and been excited about opening him. So we're going to take just a few moments and check out the packaging. It's on that normal blister card there. It says Heroic Leader with a power punch at the bottom. Nothing on the sides unusual. On the back you have some of those old selling points there, some figures. If you want to pause and look at that bio card, you certainly can. So let's break him open and check out our Thunder Punch He-Man. And here's our Thunder Punch He-Man outside of the package, and what an awesome looking action figure he is. He looks excellent. Just very nice looking action figure. And there's a picture of the vintage Thunder Punch He-Man. I do not have that particular action figure, but there's a picture of him side by side there with our debuted figure. Now this figure came out around 2012, or was released, and people were beginning to receive him at that time through Matty Collector. But I was able to obtain him through eBay at a good deal, and I'm excited to have him part of my collection. Now, it has been noted many times before in other reviews, this particular variant of He-Man is a lot lighter skin than most of your tan and buff He-Man action figures. This is He-Man in the wintertime when he has not gone to the the tanning booth, or hasn't been riding Battle Cat in the sun very much. He is on the pale side. So unfortunately, that makes it a little difficult to swap out heads, which is a bummer. I really would love to put our vintage looking classics He-Man head on this character, and we'll look at that later on when we go to the review booth back there. But here you have our Thunder Punch He-Man, and he is so neat, and we'll be looking at him in a lot more detail here in just a few moments. First of all, I want us to look at his accessories. The first accessory that we will cover that Thunder Punch He-Man comes with is, of course, the fake caps. Now, of course, the original vintage Thunder Punch He-Man, you could put this cap, the real little gunpowder caps, in the back of his backpack, his vest type armor back there, and turn the knob and it would pop, 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 kind of simulating, when he punched and that kind of stuff. But these are not real. These are fake, just plastic. There is absolutely no gunpowder in these, so they're safe. That was kind of controversial back in the day, I understand, but we don't know why, because all the little boys had cap guns back then. But anyway, and then of course you have his shield, and this is really nice accessory, and you can put this in there. It does fit, plugs right inside of there, so that gives that really neat, it doesn't really look like caps at that point, it just looks like part of the design of the shield. So that's really cool, and it's got that nice shiny chrome looking finish of paint on there, similar to He-Man's shield armor on the front there. And we'll be looking at where else that cap gun type accessory can go when we go to the review booth here in just a few moments. But there you have his shield. And then the next accessory that comes with is this Thunder Punch type that'll fit over his fist, that'll give him that ability to punch forward, and we'll put that on him also in the review booth. Really neat accessory. Not quite as detailed and as neat as some of the accessories that come with, like the Dragon Ball Z figures, and we'll look at a comparison to Jiren or King Altron in my universe comes with, and others like Marvel Legends comes with some cool fiery looking things too, sometime in lightning. This is just kind of a plain zoosh, whoosh, thunder type punch action, but we'll look at it on him. And then the highly coveted translucent, almost, kind of a glow-in-the-dark color sword. It does not glow in the dark, but it kind of looks like it would go with that kind of motif. Very popular and very rare sword that a lot of people sometime will get this He-Man just to be able to obtain that. That's not why I wanted him. I wanted him for the figure, but this sword is certainly a bonus, really cool. So you can use your imagination and have this translucent He-Man power sword to be used in some other storylines and some other cool backstories and stuff to go along with your Masters of the universe. Also, this is an accessory that comes with our really cool Thunder Punch He-Man, and that is a Dark Horse mini comics that was packed, and this is actual real comic book. It says here it's the first of a 3-part saga. This is the only book that I have. I'm not sure even what other action figures came with one, but this is really cool, and might have to see if I can't get a hold of the other two. These may be, and I was not able to find out and confirm it because I've not read my entire omnibus, but this may be and should be, from my understanding, in the omnibus, the Master of the Universe He-Man omnibus, that really thick book of many of the comic books. And I would think that this is in there. Now, we'll just say on the front, you do not see him in his Thunder Punch attire. And the only place in this book that you kind of see that referenced is in the very first page. If you can tell there, it looks like to me he has the Thunder Punch red armor on, and also that Thunder Punch shield he's holding there. But that's the only place in this, and this comic book saga does go along with the bio card that's on the back, as far as the storyline that's on the back of our Thunder Punch He-Man blister card. I'm not sure about the other two, whether he shows up in that armor again. But as the bio card says, again, kind of like with Battle Armor He-Man, he taps into the powers of Grayskull and supercharges his armor and weaponry with a Thunder Punch ability. That's just really, strong punching ability. And of course, our He-Man does come, and this is really not necessarily considered a accessory, but he's certainly the only He-Man that comes with a fist that's balled up, that's not open in any form. So that's really cool. And unfortunately, there again, because of the lighter skin, you can't even swap that fist out with other He-Man action figures. I wish Mattel would have either made this guy, and I know they were trying to be true to the vintage, because the vintage was also lighter skin, but it would have been nice if they had went ahead and made him the same color, or at least, released another He-Man variant that had that fist, or maybe, like you see a lot in action figures today, just included some alternate hands would have been nice. But would have been cool to have been able to swap that fist out with some of your other action figures. It would have been nice if Ultimate He-Man would have come with a swappable fist, wouldn't it? But anyway, let's go to the review booth and check out He-Man's articulation. Check him out with his accessories. We'll take a look at this backpack as well. We'll meet you over there. And here is our Thunder Punch He-Man inside of Castle Grayskull. We want to zoom on over here so that we can see him in our castle, and he is so cool looking, and I'm just really thrilled. I think I like him better than I thought I would like him, and he is just really nice. So let's go ahead and take a look at his articulation first of all, and then we'll look at some of his accessories on him. Love this chrome finish that's on that H, that's part of that He-Man crest, if you will, kind of almost a shield type in comparison to the others, and we will compare him to some of the other He-Man action figures. Of course, he's able to look left and right, up about that much, down, not much down, but you do have that ab crunch feature that you can make him look down further with that ab crunch feature there. So everything's real tight on this guy because he's brand new. You also have, of course, the ability to go all the way around 360 with that arm, bicep swivel, shoulders that go up just above 90 degrees with the girth there that kind of hits, and then you have single jointed elbows, just swivel at the wrist, no hinges. Of course, this is before the hinges were introduced in the line. Then on this fist, which is a little different there, he only has just the ability to swivel as well. Has excellent detail. See a little close up there, the veins in that fist and just the bends in the wrist and the joints in the hand. Just really cool, the detail that they put inside of this Thunder Punch He-Man's fist. I just love it. The veins and the tendons and just everything's right there. Just really cool. Really cool. The wrinkles. Looks good, doesn't it? I'm very pleased with that. And then, of course, he also has swivel at the waist. No Thunder Punch, tension there that would cause him to spring forward, but still you can pretend, right? And then you've got the ability to sit. You can do full seats. He also has the ability to do a full split. You have swivel at the thighs. And I don't know if it's because he's paler skin, but boy, these thighs look really ripped, look really jacked. That looks good. And then he has single jointed knees. I noticed that mine has an R on it. Let's see if that one has, yep, that one has an L for left, and that one has an R for right. I'm not sure if that was on all of them, but that's interesting. I don't remember seeing that on any action figure before. He has boot cut on both sides, and he has nice tight joints at the ankles, and not much of a rocker to speak of on here. Maybe a little bit on this side. This one is a little looser, and you do have a little bit more of a rocker joint on this side that you can see there. All right, so there's his articulation for our Thunder Punch He-Man. Now you can take all of this harness material off from the latches back here, but let me first show you how you can pop open this backpack here. And so you can take his accessory, his little cap gun type accessory, and you can plug that right inside of there, push them right in there and they pop in. Then you can close that back, and if you can tell, it does spin as you turn the knob. You can see it through the little vent there. It spins, but of course you're not going to get any caps. And even if you did put real caps in here, it's not going to pop because this is a non-functioning, just a nod to the vintage, but non-functioning. And you can also remove the entire backpack as well, so that you don't have to have that on there if you don't want to. Of course, I think it looks better with it on, and it just has the little grooves where you kind of put the top on first, just slide them or pop them right in and then lift up, and then it pops right back onto the backpack. And I missed that side. There we go. It pops right back on, and you see he has that really nice backpack. Really nice. All right, I'm going to put on his shield right quick. You can also, of course, as I showed you earlier, you can pop this plastic, again, the fake little caps right into your shield there, and that back gray, more flat gray in the background, it's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. It's kind of loose, but it does not come out. It does stay in pretty good, and that nice chrome shield. And so now you can just pop that onto your He-Man's wrist here, and he's able to hold it right there. There we go. And then of course you have your translucent sword, but because of the fact that that fist is there, you're not going to be able to hold that. And let's see, yep, there is space. You can slide that back there if you want to. You could slide his power sword back in there. It's going to stand up quite a ways. Oh, you can actually kind of push it down a little further. Yep, you can push it down a little further. You see where it comes out back there. But you can push it down a little further, and he can carry his sword back there on that if he wants to. He certainly can. All right, let's look at the punching feature now. So when he rears back and punches forward, you can pop this right onto that fist. And it fits right on there. And whoosh, whoosh. You can see how that fits right on there like a glove. It fits at the impression. It's imprinted or shaped, form-fitted to fit that fist perfectly. Whoosh, right in there. So there's your Thunder Punch He-Man. So here we have our original classics He-Man, and you see how much more tan and how much more shading is on him. You see he has the classic orange gauntlets, as well as the brown around the boots, the fuzzy boots, and then the orange around his waist. Whereas our Thunder Punch He-Man has the red gauntlets and white around the boots, as well as, of course, the same for our Battle Armor He-Man. And I have the vintage head, the classics style vintage head on Battle Armor He-Man, so that you can just get a kind of an idea. And I have a custom painted shield there for Battle Armor He-Man as well that I like better with him. But there you see a comparison of these three particular He-Man action figures there, and can match them up there. Just really pleased with this variant. Just, you know, he's very different. The only downside or negative I see is the inability to swap heads and that fist. But overall, I'm very pleased with him. I like that armor. I may try one day and, you know, test it out, especially when I do a review of all my He-Man action figures when I get them open. I may swap out that Thunder Punch He-Man armor on one of my other He-Man action figures just to see how everything works out. But I think that is marvelous. I think that looks very good. I think everything is working good there for these guys. They just look great, all of them, in their own respective ways. Really cool. All right, so there is Jiren, or King Altron, I'm calling him in my universe, blocking Thunder Punch He-Man's punch there. And then he's going to get ready to rear back and retaliate. And there's Jiren, or King Altron, punching back, and He-Man, Thunder Punch He-Man, leans back and it misses him. But that's what I was talking about as far as some of the accessories. But you can see the difference between Jiren from Dragon Ball Z's Thunder Punch type accessory and then our Thunder Punch He-Man accessory. I like it, but I think I would have rather had something similar to this, just to have a little bit more of a detail to it. But it's certainly cool to have this accessory with a Thunder Punch He-Man, and kind of to pair these together to swap punches. I've got my Jiren on order. That's going to be the shirtless version. That'll be all beefed up and stacked with muscles. So that'll be cool. Opposition of King Altron in the Motu universe. That's who I'm going to make my Jiren, versus Thunder Punch He-Mans. That'll be kind of cool. But there's the accessories. So if you enjoyed this review, like, comment, and share, and we'd appreciate it very much if you'd subscribe. It'd be awesome. It helps the channel out. And guess what? Let's now take a look at some photos with our Thunder Punch He-Man.
Yeah, I agree with you, Fisto. I mean, if there was a competition on whose fist is the biggest, I'd say you'd win. I mean, this just looks kind of puny there. Thunder Punch, He-Man. Well, this is Iron Punch, Fisto. Yep, I think Fisto would win.
I don't think so.
What?
Cause Thunder Punch He-Man is He-Man. He has the power of Grayskull behind him. It's not just that he's strong, but he has powers.
Well, okay. You say so. Still say Fisto would win.